operationalized by one of the local commercial banks. Let me turn to pension reforms. Mr. Speaker, majority of Kenyans remain uncovered with the retirement benefits coverage at about, stands at about 26%. We need to address this challenge. The Cabinet has approved the National Retirement Benefits Policy in November 2023 that requires all entities to enroll all the employees, both contractual and permanent, and pensionable for registered retirement benefits scheme. To effectively implement the policy, we have initiated the review and harmonization of all the laws governing the retirement benefits sector. Mr. Speaker, to ensure sustainability of the public service pension system, we are revamping the public service pension administration through digitization and re-engineering of the pension management system, which is expected to be completed by December 2024. Mr. Speaker, the informal sector has about 17 million workers, and that accounts for about 83% of the total workforce in the country. This segment has remained excluded from the pension coverage, mainly due to its unique and heterogeneous needs. The National Treasury has established the Kenya National Entrepreneur Saving Trust, KNEST, to handle pensions from the informal sector and anchor the savings component of the hustler fund while providing a channel for voluntary savings. Let me turn to insurance reforms. Mr. Speaker, to facilitate the growth of the insurance sector, the government developed a national insurance policy. This policy is guided by the review of the Insurance Act, which has served its purpose, albeit with progressive amendments, for the last 30 years. The Insurance Professionals Bill 2024, currently under consideration by this august House, will also strengthen the standards of practice in insurance and improve stability and performance of the insurance companies. I now turn to the fiscal framework, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the government's fiscal policy is to enhance fiscal consolidation efforts to reduce debt vulnerabilities and rebuild fiscal buffers amid significant global and even domestic challenges. These external and domestic shocks that Kenya has experienced serve as a reminder of the importance of fiscal buffers. Mr. Speaker, the focus of our fiscal policy thus remains to reduce the deficit from 5.7% of GDP in the current financial year to 3.3% in the financial year 2024-2025. We're going to do this through various means. First, domestic resource mobilization. Mr. Speaker, implementation of government's plan for rapid and inclusive socio-economic transformation largely depends on robust revenue growth rate. Indeed, despite significant government investment in reforming the tax structure, the tax to GDP is estimated at 11.5% of GDP as of 2022-2023 against an estimated potential of 25% of GDP. And this is also the convergence criteria in the East African community countries. We therefore urgently need to address the challenges that negatively affect our revenue collection, some of these challenges include: first, there is an existence of hard-to-tax sectors. The economy is dominated by a large informal sector that is mostly outside the current tax instrument, leaving the country to rely on a narrow tax base, and it is time to reverse this trend. Second, proliferation of tax expenditures over the years. Tax expenditures are estimated right now at 2.9% of GDP, if you consider the 2022 data, that it has major erosion to the tax base. Third, low tax compliance, largely attributed to factors such as the technical and complex nature of our tax laws and procedures, taxpayer apathy due to perceived inefficient use of tax revenues, high compliance costs, and inadequate taxpayer education. Fourth, there are difficulties in taxing emerging digital economy. The tax system is not fully equipped to deal with the emerging business models that leverage on the digital technology. Finally, Mr. Speaker, inadequate modern technology equipment for use at every stage or exit border points, misdeclaration and even misclassification of goods inadequate customs border posts, infiltration of counterfeits, smuggling, and diversion of goods. Mr. Speaker, in order to address these challenges and enhance the revenue mobilization, we shall implement a combination of tax policy and administrative reforms. The reforms are premised on the need to ensure that taxes are more supportive to economic activity. They do not distort the market and have a predictable tax structure. The reforms include, first, implementation of tax policy and administration measures proposed in the Finance Bill 2024. Second, implementation of the medium-term revenue strategy to expand the tax base to 20% of GDP over the medium term. Third, to strengthen the tax administration for enhanced compliance through leveraging on technology to revolutionize tax processes, sealing revenue loopholes, and enhancing the efficiency of tax system. And finally, we're focusing on unlocking additional non-tax revenue potential by MDAs through the services they offer to the public. Let me turn to improving the efficiency of public expenditure. Mr. Speaker, turning to expenditures, we should ensure that our scarce resources are used in the most efficient and effective way. Mr. Speaker, in order to move towards a balanced budget and further improve efficiency in public spending, the following bold actions and reforms have been outlined in the financial year 2024-2025. First, rationalization of transfers to SAGAs by at least 30% from the financial year 2023-2024 approved budget, in line with the overall austerity measures cutting across all ministries, departments, and agencies. Second, curtailing spending on the following expenditure items: foreign travels, rationalization of all training expenses across government, and restricting all training to within government institutions, rationalizing all allocations for purchases of motor vehicles, and suspending purchases of furniture for a period of 1 year, and suspending all refurbishment and partitioning of government offices. Third, the expenditure control measures that include suspension of all new recruitment in the public sector for 1 year, for the next 1 year, audit and cleanse all public payrolls, pension, and transfers to the vulnerable with a view to eliminate